Alright, so first task at hand is to actually change the steering wheel, which I'm going to do now. I'm not going to show you the whole disassembly and whatnot. There's a lot of videos on YouTube you can watch, but I'm going to do like maybe a time lapse or step forward. So yeah, let me start taking the steering wheel off. Alright guys, so I pretty much had to take this part of the steering wheel off. I mean, it's a complicated process, but I won't show you. Basically, that steering wheel had to come off, but you had to disassemble this part here, which is the control pad pretty much. So there was a lot of screws. You had to unplug the circuit board and then put this back on. I'll link you the video in the description below to show you how it's actually done. Now that I have the ERD steering wheel adapter here, I can finally go ahead and attach my aftermarket steering wheel here, which is going to look like that basically. So now I have a 350mm steering wheel, a deep dish one, which is good for drifting and stuff like that. The good thing about the deep dish ones is that you can still access the buttons in the back. I would recommend you to get the deep dish version, not the flat one, but the deep dish. But yeah, there you go. So now all I have to do is just to screw the steering wheel, all 6 screws in, we'll be set. Alright guys, so I just finished installing the aftermarket steering wheel on my Logitech G920 and it looks damn good. The only issue is I should have went with red stitching because my seat is red. Well, that means I might have to buy another steering wheel in the future, so yeah, stay tuned for that. I mean, it feels better now. It feels like an actual steering wheel. Like, yeah, I like it. Mind you, I still have to mount that thing. It's still shaky. So yeah, so the steering wheel's in, and if you didn't catch it yet, I already mounted up the e-brake there. All I have to do now, after I've done that steering wheel mod, is to work on the pedals. Alright guys, so now for the pedals, I'm going to install the mod where I'm going to take the factory bushing in there, which is like a inch of a rubber block, which is sitting in the brake pedal. So many complaints say it's hard to press the brake pedal because it's very hard to push down, especially if you're using the office chairs for your sim rigs. Like it would definitely push you back because it's hard to press, and sometimes it'll register not so great because when you press down it stops there and it's just hard to push down. I mean, it's trying to mimic real life, but for some other sim rig users, it's just way too hard to press down compared to the clutch and gas. But yes, I am going to replace that rubber block in there with the dampening cushion that I bought, and hopefully it'll be better. Alright, so that's the dampening cushion. I have to take the pedal set or pedal assembly apart. I won't show you that process, but I'll show you stage by stage from what progress I got to. Alright guys, so I took off the cover on the pedal assembly, and I just want you to know, if you open up the pedal set, you probably will void your warranty. But if you do, just be careful, because when you open up this cover, I have it on the side here. It's there's wires attached to it, so don't rip it completely off, otherwise you'll just rip these wires right off. So just be careful. So this is the back side of the pedal set. I had to take off the pedals or the plates so that the cover could come off, and this is what we have. So what I have to do now is access this middle shaft here. I have to take off this nut here, and it'll expose the spring inside. That's where the rubber block is sitting in here, and the spring as well. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna show you the results after I disassemble this part, and I will replace it with the aftermarket dampening cushion. Alright guys, so I got the middle part loose. I had to go from the bottom and make sure I took out the screws to actually make this move around. I also disconnected the wire from the cover, so the cover popped off. I didn't want to pull out any wires just in case, so I have the nut and whatever pin or bolt was holding it, so it's loose now. So I'm gonna show you where the spring come out, and I'll show you that rubber cushion that the factory puts in there, making it real tough to press on. So I'm disassembling it now. So I removed that part, and as you can see, there's a spring here, there's a shaft. Take out the spring that's in there. Let's put this down, and there is your rubber cushion here that comes factory. So remove that. I'll just leave the spring here for now, and that's what you're left with, that rubber. So as you can see, it's hard to press. Like, I have to put a lot of force, and that's what your foot is actually trying to fight when you press down on the brake. So I'm gonna replace it with the rubber cushion, and that's your aftermarket dampening cushion here. So I can actually press it a little bit. I mean, it's still kind of hard to press down, but it's hollow, so you know, that solid chunk versus this guy here right there, compared to that, I mean, I don't know, it's fairly the same size, but I think I can press this one a little bit easier. The only way to find out is to install it and test it out. So what this dampening cushion is gonna go, or where it's gonna go, is actually into the spring here. So I'm gonna install this onto the spring, and I'll show you the final product. Alright guys, so I installed the dampening cushion onto the spring, and this is how it should look like. So what I'm gonna do now is to reinstall this back into there, and that's it. You have I believe a way better dampening cushion for your brake pedal for the Logitech G920 pedal assembly, which is probably gonna make your brake feel better, and probably you can control your braking in racing games and drift games or whatever with this bad boy. I know there is a spring set or kit for either the clutch or the throttle on this side. I'm gonna not install that for now, because my plan was to probably upgrade this in the future and actually make inverted pedals. So this mod will last me for a while until I make that move. So yeah, let's install this and test it out. Alright guys, so I got everything reinstalled in the pedal assembly on the Logitech G920, and I'm gonna tell you right now off the bat, braking is so much better. It is night and day. So I can actually press it way much more than what it was previously, and it just feels like way better. Like there's no resistance. Like it's way better, like I just said. Well, yeah, it is night and day. This mod really helps your braking pedal, rather than having that factory block in there where it just goes, it plays, and it just stops right there. Rather than putting this aftermarket one, I can actually press it down, and I'm pretty sure it'll register better. Not so much for the clutch. I left it factory. Gas, I left it factory. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep this mod, because I am going to do the inverted pedal mod where it hangs from the top platform. So this is probably temporarily. I can probably still use the dampening cushion in there, because I think I gotta reuse the same like shaft and pedal assembly anyway. But this, for the inverted one, it's just gonna hang from the top like a real car does. So if you're interested in getting a product like this, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can install one if you get a sim rig or get into racing with the Logitech G920 and such. Alright, so fast forward a couple months ahead, and I wanted to show you that I ditched the factory Logitech pedal set casing for a extreme sim racing inverted pedal kit that I installed on the sim rig. I did not do a tutorial or install video on how to build this setup. I'll link a video in the description below so you can check out how this inverted pedal setup works. Pretty much you're just inverting the pedals but getting rid of that plastic case that the factory Logitech pedal set comes with, and yeah, it looks better. It feels like an actual car because now it's inverted. So what it did come with was those steel brackets in the back. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the black steel brackets, and it came with a like a diamond plated foot plate, I guess you can say, that you can install on the sim rig of choice. I think this works for many different ones. From above you can see, sorry if it's dark, but the wiring goes around on the top. I mean, just my preference of wire management, but that's it, those 3 brackets right there. And it also comes with hardware with the pedal kit. I did get this kit from Amazon, and usually when you look for this kit, it's usually sold out. A lot of people buy this inverted pedal kit, I guess because they want to replicate the realism of a race car or a real car. But yeah, so pedal kit, you're just reusing the pedal set from the Logitech factory ones. I also went ahead and mount the TV on the wall. Originally I had a stand for it that goes or holds it from the middle, but for some reason I did my mismeasurements, or I mismeasured, and the stand would not like sit flush with the sim rig, so the stand would take up a lot of space right in the front, and it would push my sim rig all the way back, maybe a foot, maybe a foot and a half back in my office, and I didn't like that. I wanted to give it the flush look, so at the moment I'm just letting the wires hang out or hang down, and I mounted the TV on the wall. I am desperately looking for the GT Omega Art single monitor stand that will work for this sim rig, because it has the mounting areas for it. So it's just 2 poles and then a bracket that'll let the TV mount up to, and pretty much if I get that stand, it will complete my sim rig kinda. And yeah, so for some reason they don't ship to Hawaii, so I can't get it. So I'm trying to work out family in mainland to send it to me. I also went ahead and upgraded my office a little bit ever since the last time we caught up in this video. So what I went and done was put some like sound panels, they say. I also upgraded my PC setup here. Kinda, sorry, it's messy. I bought a light for it. I have a webcam. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much that's where I'm at right now, and I'll show you more stuff that I got for the sim rig. Alright, another thing that I got for the sim rig is this threaded gear shifter adapter specifically for the Logitech G-Force driving shifter. This smaller threaded portion threads into the factory shifter. I'll show you that later on. And this will be your threaded portion for your shift knob. Specifically, this is a M10 by 1.25. The reason why there's a flat end on the threaded part is so you can actually use the wrench so you can turn it into the shifter assembly, and I will show you that later on. And I also have something on the side which is a shift knob for the G-Force shifter from Logitech. And here you go. So I purchased a Tomei Duracon shift knob for the Simrig. Packaging came kind of messed up, but it is a genuine Tomei shift knob. Let me open it up for you real quick. Alright, so here's the shift knob. It's made of quality Duracon. This is a 90mm long shifter. There's also a 70 and I believe a 60, if I'm not mistaken. So this is where you put that coin, which is basically this thing right here. This has the Tomei logo on it. What I would have to do is pretty much stick this onto the shift knob like so. Oh, do keep in mind, I ain't gonna put the emblem on yet. I'm gonna put it on the adapter first and then put it on, just so you know. I don't want to put it crooked or facing a different direction. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there are also 3D printed ones, or per se plastic ones out there that you can buy for cheaper, I believe. You don't have to go with this metal one, but I wanted to go with the metal one because I didn't want something to break. So I purchased this for about $19. I will link it in the description below. I actually got it on Amazon, so hopefully you find one for your sim rig, for your shift knobs. And yeah. Alright, here we are. So there's a shift knob. I'll try to show you my best to install the adapter with the shift knob. If you hear a buzzing noise, I apologize. That's my AC. It's kind of hot in my office, so let me show you the best I can. Here's a shifter. All you gotta do is pop off this cap here, which shows you the factory H pattern. Grab a Phillips screwdriver. There's a screw in here in the center of the shift knob, or the factory shift knob. Let's go ahead and take that out. Alright, kind of got the screw out, and all you gotta do is pull out the factory shift knob. Make sure you don't lose the screw. You might want to use it later. And that leaves you with this exposed portion right here, where the shift knob actually attaches to. So if you have any other modifications you want to do to this gear shifter, do it now because you have it off already. I don't have any. Maybe in the future I'll do more modifications, but that's later down the road. Got my adapter here. There's a screw on the factory threaded portion. Go ahead, use your wrench and make it tight. Go ahead and grab your aftermarket shift knob. In that case, mine is a Tomei. Okay, just make it as tight as you need it to be, which is fine. This is fine for me. Preference wise, it does feel kind of well, I mean, of course there's a clicky factory part, but because the boot sits so low, it's kind of interfering with the throws a little bit. That's probably something I gotta used to it, or used to. So I might end up taking the boot, or I'm just gonna leave it on, but it might affect your strokes or your gear throws. Not big of a deal. Hopefully you can lock it and it'll stay there. If the boot kind of like causes like a resistance, your gear might go back into neutral, so it might cause an issue. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to test that out, I guess. Keep in mind, I have been using my sim rig, so that's why, you know, off the bat I'm telling you preference wise on how it feels. So far so good though. Reverse is good. Reverse is reverse. Only issue I have is the second gear. Yeah, only because the boot bunches up a lot by the second gear. But you know, preference, that's what it is. It is what it is. And that's something I gotta deal with. Alright, last step. Install the emblem. Pretty much it has a double-sided adhesive on the back. And I'll just carefully put it onto the shift knob. I think we're straight. Push down. And then we're good to go. So I have a aftermarket Tomei shift knob on my Logitech G-Force shifter here, along with the adapter that I installed. So yeah, anything's possible at the moment. Looks way better than the factory one. Way better. Alright, another thing that I also got for the sim rig was this Logitech K400 wireless keyboard with a built-in touchpad here for the mouse. To me, it's very much a tool that I need for the sim rig, only because I don't want to reach over all the way to my PC setup, because I don't have a wireless keyboard. So I bought this instead. It helps a lot, because once you're like done driving and stuff, you can just use this, type in whatever you need to, especially for Assetto Corsa where you need to do a lot of like tuning and stuff. This comes in handy. Alright, another thing that I should cover, maybe you might ask me, where'd you get it, or what's that in the background, or where'd you get those gloves? Of course, racing gloves are essential for sim racing. Not necessarily. Sometimes I like, or just wearing my, or or just using my bare hands just to get the better feel on the steering wheel. But at times where drifting comes into play or heavy racing, I like using gloves. I got this from Shirts Tucked In, which is a company based in Japan and Australia. I ended up buying these teal colored Shirts Tucked In racing gloves because one day I went on YouTube and I watched the owner Casey, and he has a S13, and I saw him using these gloves and I thought it was dope. And Casey is a dope drifter up in Japan right now. Big shout out to him. Hopefully he does good in the upcoming competitions. Yeah, so if you want to go get a pair of racing gloves yourself, I think they have different versions. They have different colors, and they just released the neon green ones, which I might get in the future. Shirtstuckedin.com. I will put a link in the description below so you can get a pair for yourself and one for your sim rig, or maybe your race car, maybe your drift car. But yes, these are good quality gloves. I like them. I like using them. Sorry I didn't actually throw in clips there for you, but I have been playing Assetto Corsa a lot on the sim rig. This is pretty much what I'm running now, and this is pretty much what my setup is, as you can see. I am getting another steering wheel for this setup. For some reason I just wanted to change the look of it. The reason why you want a deep dish is you would need to, you know, press buttons in here, and the only way to access it is a deep dish. But I wanted to get something different, more like a style and a naughty concept. But yes, I am retiring this steering wheel. that is the video on the sim rig at the moment. What I have at the moment. I might upgrade here and there, and I will let you guys know what I have in the future. But if you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you can watch more upcoming videos. I will try to upload a little bit more. I know I haven't been uploading. I will see you in the next video, y'all. Hope you like it. Peace. Naloto.